We are live. Hey guys, what's up? This is Island Talk with Niko Hull. So we're here with some very special guests today. We got the Survivor Shade Crew. What's up, guys?
Hey!
We got John Carroll, Survivor Marquesas in his wig, and is it a Bion buff?
I got Bion buff.
Wait, I thought we were here with Joe. Wait, that's John or Joe?
Okay, still plug that in.
Oh, that's Joe. That's Joe. Oh, that's my mistake. My mistake.
Or Jerry Manthey, you decide.
And then we do have, as well as another Joe, we got Survivor Shade Joe. Joe, how you doing tonight?
I'm great. I've had a couple bottles of wine, so I'm fabulous.
Fabulous. Awesome.
Audrey,
No microphone though?
Yeah.
I think it needs.
Giving me some Andrea too.
So a little Audrey homage.
And we got our purple pants himself, Bryce Isaiah Johnson. What's up?
Hello.
Hello.
I see that purple buff you have on.
Just for you, my man.
I appreciate the love.
Nicholas.
All right, and then we got Dylan, my other co-host. Dylan, what's up?
Hey, can you hear me? If you can, give me a thumbs up.
I can hear you. Can they hear
Awesome. We finally got a rig working where we can broadcast. Yeah, there we go. Hey, what's up, everybody?
you? What's up? And then, of course, we're missing Dan tonight. Eventually, he said he's gonna try to jump in, so he might pop in halfway through the show. And then Ben will be on the show as of next week, so he's coming back from vacation. So for now, we'll jump back over to the Shade as they're
Freaky all week.
they're getting freaky.
Yes, we're getting freaky out here. We got the bright side Dave, the badass. I'm out here doing a podcast, live cast with my main man, Dylan.
What up?
Giving you my savage beanie.
Oh my gosh! Don't even get me started on that. Oh my
What's
god!
wrong with that? You
yeah.
didn't like
Oh, yeah,
Savage's beanie, Dylan?
What's up?
No one's Dylan. I'm Niko.
I know. I'm asking Dylan what he thought about Savage's beanie. His beanie while out.
Dylan, what do you think of Savage's beanie?
What?
His tribal council getup, his bro getup.
He looks. I get him chuckle every time he comes in. Yeah. He's always doing that weird thing.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
oh my god. He looks kind of douchey, but
He looks incredibly douchey.
yeah. Yeah. He's keeping it real on the jury, so gotta respect it.
He's the talk of the town on the jury.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Jury. The jury. It's the jury.
The jury.
The jury.
All right, so real quick before we get into the Survivor, how was your guys' Thanksgiving?
It was fantastic.
It was great.
And I heard you guys are filming the Shady Christmas.
It's all done.
All done?
Yes,
Awesome.
the wrap party is waiting once we're done with this.
Perfect. It looks like you guys got an early head start, though.
These two did.
These two did. All right. Yeah, I see Joe in the middle with his wine. You got to.
Be careful for your breakers. You got your second. I will pay for it.
All right. So,
Actually, don't worry about it. Jamboree's
Dylan, when you're ready, we can jump back in. So, what do you guys think of this week's episode? We had a double boot. We got Sierra and Fishback both going home. We got an idol play. We got a misplayed advantage. There was a lot happened. Steven cried a lot. He threw up a lot. He crapped his pants a lot. Poopy pants.
Poopy pants.
Poopy pants.
He pooped his pants a lot.
He did poop his pants a lot.
It was at night, so did people really see?
Oh, I'm sure there was some Tarzan level marks on his underpants. So I'm sure it was there.
What do you think caused it?
But the poopy pants,
Yeah.
He was the only one that had it.
I think
that coconut?
it's Kimmy's still out there, so it must be from Kimmy's clan.
Oh, okay. Okay.
This weird is killing me.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'll leave the talk to about Kimmy's clams. I'll leave that talk to you guys.
I I generally stay away from the clams, so I don't have the poopy pants.
I don't blame you guys. All right, so what did you guys think about this week's episodes in general? Just the boots, the blind side. Let's talk about the Sierra boot first with the Jeremy idol play. What did you guys think of just the idol play and how it went down?
Well, I think it was probably a waste of an idol. So I think they were gunning for Steven, and they should have known that. So I think it's a waste of an idol. I think Jeremy should still have 2 in his pocket.
See, I think Jeremy is counting his jury votes.
Jury.
So, jewelry. I think Jeremy is definitely, that was a more, to me, it spoke more volumes, not just for the individual vote at hands. I felt like it spoke volumes. So I just got my eye on Jeremy right now.
But can I say it was classy, very, very classy.
It was classy. It was for sure classy. It was.
It was good friendship.
Yeah, I thought it was a great move. I mean, great TV move. Great TV move. I agree.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if he should have wasted it. I mean, especially in retrospect, when he just goes home the next 3 days later anyway.
Exactly. That's what we're talking about.
But in terms of a TV move, I mean, it was a total gangster move. Just the hey Jeff, and just the way he just strut up there with his Boston swag. He had it going. So
Can we start calling him Boston Jeremy?
Boston Jeremy? No, let's not do that.
Gonna pack the cat, have a yacht.
This is for Fishback.
Let's not bring up Boston Rob.
Vote his ass out again.
The blonde girl.
We already got the best of Survivor Marquesas on the show tonight. We don't need to bring up the second raters.
That's right.
So Jeremy, we agree. Great TV move. Great TV move, and not a great game move. But I do agree with Bryce. I agree that it's a good move in terms of getting a jury vote from Steven. Moving forward.
Builder. That's definitely something that you want on your resume if you're making it to the end, in my opinion.
But don't you think he was already going to get that vote no matter what?
I mean, I'm just saying.
I don't think he had to waste an idol to get it.
But I think he's going to get other people's vote because he gave Steven a vote. He gave Steven the idol. So people are going to say, well, if you gave Steven the idol, you could have done this and this and this for me. Therefore, you get my vote for $1 million. So I agree. I do agree with Bryce that it was a idol play to save one person to potentially get multiple jury votes.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can get on board with that. Hey, real quick for everyone out there watching, tweet your questions at us at IslandTalkWNH. You can also tweet at all these fabulous gentlemen out here at Survivor Shade,
Well, that's me.
at Bryce Isaiah, and at First Survivor John. And tweet us, and you can also tweet at Dylan at DWalls09.
Okay.
And eventually, if it never comes onto the show.
Don't tweet at me, please. Don't do that.
So please direct all of your tweets at Dylan.
Tweet at him. Everybody tweet Dylan.
Dylan and Dylan's friend in
Everyone.
the background.
Yes, we see you.
I see your friend Dylan.
We see
Oh,
you.
I see a
Ask
little
for the Santas.
I see somebody
Yeah.
in the background, Dylan.
Hello.
The shade is spoken. Direct
We
all
do.
tweets to Dylan, and he will reciprocate them back to me. So I did have one question that I got from a fan right before the show started, and he said, "Do you guys still think Jeremy will make it to the end, or is he screwed once his other idol is gone?"
If you're asking me, the only black person in here, I'm saying that Jeremy's making it to the end. Jeremy's making it to the end.
Oh, I know. I wish my other co-host here, Ben, was on. You'd have another brother with you on the show.
Well,
He's,
I'm pulling for Ben.
So I sent him the link, but I haven't heard from him yet. So if he ever pops in, we'll get a little more color in here. But until then, we're waiting on him. But so that was the only question I got at the moment. But let's go back. Let's jump into the second tribal council and let's get into Steven's advantage, or as has he probably better addressed it, his disadvantage. Do you guys agree with the way? Do you think you guys overthought it? Do you guys think he had the right idea and he just fell apart because he trusted Spencer too much? What do you guys think?
You know what I think, Nico.
I know what Dylan thinks, and I'll let you rant here in a second.
All right, fair enough.
But I want to get the Shade's opinion on Spencer or Steven.
Yeah, I think Steven's problem is he had an agenda against Joe that blinded him to the other elements of the game. And once his name was put down, he should have known he was going to be a target, and he needed to do everything to get that target off his back and throw 2 votes to somebody else besides Joe for once. He just needed to let his Joe Boner, go and focus on something else.
And if I can mimic that here, I feel like if you have an advantage, why would you split the votes with your advantage, Fishy? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, if you have an advantage, you want to send 2 votes in someone's direction, not split it 2 ways. That's almost avoids your own advantage. So I was kind of confused at that. That gave it the ... type situation. I was confused.
Yeah, I mean,
did not catch his white whale.
So, and when you go look at the votes, because I wrote down the way the votes went down, it was 4 votes for Fish, 3 for Abby, and 2 for Joe. So, I believe, at least when they showed it, Steven had asked Spencer to vote for Abby. Yet Spencer, and Spencer voted for Fish.
Right.
Yeah.
So if he's voting for Abby, that would have been 4 votes for Abby, 3
Right.
votes for Fish, and 2 for Joe, and Abby would have went home, and not Joe.
We talked about this earlier today, that if Fish would have sent his vote in one direction, Fish could still be on the show. I mean, even with his dinosaur feet, he still would have been on the show.
Prehistoric.
Yeah, they were rather large. So another thing I wanted to bring up, since we've got John on the show, is we had the return of one of the folklore night challenges. And I know they had one of those Marquesas. I was tweeting with you and Marty earlier this week about the folklore and Rhino.
Yeah.
And so it's been a while. Was Marquesas the last time they did one of those folklore challenges? I'm trying to remember way back.
No, I think they had one afterwards. I can't remember which season, but I think they had one 2 or 3 seasons after that.
Did they have one on Amazon?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I know Rob, because I know Rob won the nighttime. It was like a nighttime trivia challenge. Was it? I mean, they weren't running around. They were kind of at they were at like booths, kind of. Because I remember that was
right.
Yeah.
Right. Trivia, not a story. So
yeah. So I was trying to remember story-wise if it was the last story. I feel like there probably has been story challenges since then.
Well, didn't China have a reward challenge that was a trivia challenge, or I guess a story challenge, I believe?
It might have. I should know that because I've seen China like 7 times. So
there was a reward challenge at like Final 5, Final 6. I believe PG or Denise won.
Hashtag PG.
Yeah, gone way too soon.
Yes.
Way too soon. But
Mama Varner.
yeah, along with Varner. Yeah, don't get me started on Varner. I was conflicted because John, were you on the week that Varner went home, or were you on the week before?
I can't remember.
I'm trying to remember because
I thought it was when Varner went home.
I think it was because we wore the pink because it was the week after you did your movie showing for the film you made for your mom, and so we wore pink. And I almost wore my black in honor of Varner going home for the Varner funeral. So
That was like October 7th is when my mom's
Yeah.
film
That's right.
aired.
Yeah, we had you the week after.
Yeah.
So I think we had you on when Varner went home, and yeah, I still have my black shirt hanging here on the door from the beginning of the show. So between a tribute to your black get up from the final tribal and Varner going home, it hasn't moved. It's been hung up there in its place. So. What are you guys thinking overall? I mean, we got 8 people left, and at this point of the season, who do you guys like as a front runner? Are we all on Jeremy? Are we looking at Spencer? Are you guys looking at anybody else?
I like Kelly and Spencer, and I still feel like Tasha has a move in her still.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the final 3 is Wentworth, Spencer, and Tasha. I think that's a solid final 3 because Wentworth, I think she can blend and is ambiguous enough that she can kind of get her way through to the final, and she's got that extra idol. Mm-hmm. I think Spencer's built the connections to make it there, and I think Tasha is just, I don't know, I think Tasha's going to win a couple of immunities once Joe's out of the picture.
But I don't think she can win.
No.
I think it's too late unless she makes some big moves.
Yes.
Well, and I think Tasha's social game hasn't been great either. I mean, you already know that Cass isn't voting for her.
Right.
And Cass is the first person in the jury house. That's not someone you want at the beginning of the jury house, kind of helping shape the minds of the people coming in. So I definitely think that Tasha can make it to the end. I just don't like her chances if she gets there.
Yeah, me the same here. I think she could. I think she has the ability to get there, but I don't think she can win.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that at Final 8 that we'd be talking about Tasha as a potential GOAT?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think she's a GOAT so much as like Kelly Wigglesworth. Wins her way to the end, but really has not a lot of shot at winning.
But Tasha has too much game in her to be a Wigglesworth.
That's true. That's true.
It's just that none of it lined up the right way. She was always caught flat-footed.
Agreed.
And she's never been in any of the decision-making, so which really tells you, like, what's really happening with her game.
That's true. That's true.
She just is, she just isn't in the mix. It's really strange, especially with Jeremy. Like,
Yes.
I thought that those two might be tighter, but you never know.
You never know.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it's going to depend on who she can make it to the end with, and I agree. She's going to have to make some moves because she hasn't really made a big move. You know, she's kind of been, you know, she wasn't in the loop when Wigglesworth went home. She wasn't in the loop when Jeremy played the idol on Steven. And she wasn't in the loop because she flipped over with Steven and Jeremy when Steven got voted out. So she's 3 weeks in a row where she's been on the wrong side. And this is the point of the game where you want to be on the wrong side of the votes because it doesn't look good on you at the end.
Yeah.
So it's going to matter on, you know, if she can go to the end with someone like Abby and Kimmy or something.
Yeah, that's the only way it can happen.
Yeah.
She's going to have a really rough time unless she starts pulling some serious moves in this Final 8. And, I mean, there's still time, you know. If she can, you know, orchestrate something against Joe or against Jeremy or Spencer, you know, and take out some of these she could probably beat Keith, too. But, you know, knock out some of these big guys and be the orchestrator, then I definitely think she's still got a shot. But she definitely went down.
I missed that last part.
Oh, sorry. I said I was agreeing with you that unless she makes some big moves, she's gonna have a rough stretch to the final three for a win.
Sierra and Steven both being taken out, other than really Jeremy and Kelly Wentworth, and Spencer really hasn't made any big moves either. I mean, he's none that we can see that he's orchestrated. It's been like a collective.
Right.
So it seems like right now all of the people that had the momentum that were driving the game forward are now gone. So now this final push, it's going to be interesting to see who emerges from that. Jeremy seems like he's playing not to lose, and it feels like, you know, some of the other players, maybe Spencer and Wentworth, will start to play to win.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree, and I think at least from the way that they presented it throughout both episodes tonight, it did look like they were trying to position Spencer as the driving force behind the Steven vote, in both halves. He was really gung ho. He had a lot of confessionals about wanting to get Steven out. When Steven takes Tasha and Jeremy, he talks about how it's going to be a fatal mistake for him. So they're definitely setting Spencer up. For the Steven going home, and I think for getting the credit for Steven going home, and I think it's at least if you're reading into the editing a little bit, I think it's a good sign that Spencer's probably going to make a pretty deep run at this.
I think it's pretty clear Steven's responsible for Steven going home, so let's not give Spencer too much credit for that.
Yeah, I think so too.
So Dylan, you were a big fan of the vote split. You were Skyping me day after the episode on Thanksgiving about how much you loved.
I thought it was a great idea. I thought it was a great idea to split the vote in that scenario.
So tell the fans about it. I don't want to leave them out on the intense hatred and shade you were throwing Steven's way.
Well, let me be very clear. This is not isolated to just Steven. It's to that entire fucking stupid side who thought it'd be a good idea to split the vote there. All right. Let's just go to the start and just assume it's just Jeremy and Steven together, right? They need 3 people. They need 2 people to go with them, right? Just 2 in the majority. And it seems like that Kenny and Tasha were right to vote with them. Right,
Dylan, your quality is breaking up terribly.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It was fine for a second, and all of a sudden, it just got really bad.
And then you got all pissy and angry, and I think the universe is telling you to chill the fuck out.
Well, I'm pretty pissed. Is this better?
A little bit. Can you guys hear him?
Yep.
Is he kind of coming through sketchy a little bit?
Yes. He's a little.
Not as a personality, but voice-wise. Yeah?
I don't know. All right. Yeah. So anyways, I thought, my opinion obviously was no split. Don't rely on a split vote to win. And like you already pointed out, Steven shouldn't have split his own votes. That was dumb too. There's no reason to split his own votes. So that was like the biggest mistake. The second biggest was just split. Think about it. If Steven doesn't split his own votes, then they could split and Abby goes home. I still wouldn't want Abby to go home. I think the best move would have been, and if I would have went 5-4 and just hedged against Joe having an idol. That's what I would have done. That would be my move. I wouldn't have advocated for a split, especially one that requires me to split my own votes. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no split. I would have argued against it.
Yeah, but I think Steven's worst enemy was himself. I think he overthought it.
What is there to overthink? Like, it's not overthinking. It's just paranoia. Like, you're paranoid Joe has an idol. When you gotta really consider, there's 9 people out here. We don't know how. Like, at most, there's 3 idols in play. Jeremy has one. He doesn't know Jeremy has one. But still, like,
got too emotional in trying to get his revenge on Joe.
Yes.
He was too focused on getting Joe out, and he wasn't able to look at the big picture at, like, hey, maybe I could work with Joe and get somebody else out.
Yeah. He was too haunted by the previous, is it Tokashins?
Yes.
Yeah, he was too haunted by Tokashins and what happened there, and it came in with a huge agenda to get rid of Joe, and he just became blinded to what was actually happening in the game. And I don't think he realized that Joe statistically would not win every single challenge.
Right.
And that there would be an opportunity. And if he just planned on the opportunity rather than just focusing on it all the time, based on the editing, we may have seen, there may have been other parts that we just didn't see.
Right.
But it seemed like he was super consumed with Joe. And I think that completely undermined his game.
Yeah, I agree.
The other thing is, like, isn't his alliance with Jeremy like very similar to his alliance with JT? I mean, both physical players, both very likable players, both, I mean, Jeremy, I think, is more strategically minded than JT was. JT had maybe a better social game, but still, like, what's the big difference between Jeremy and Joe? Like, if you're so close to Jeremy and you can ignore all these features, then how can you be so fixated on Joe? So, yeah, he got television, he got a little ahead of himself. But,
well, and Jeremy's got like that same untouchable vibe that JT kind of had, because like after he plays that idol and he saves Steven at that first tribal, I mean, they don't when everyone else is back at camp and they're talking about who they want to vote out, they're back on Steven. It's like Jeremy doesn't even exist. Jeremy's completely just flying under the radar right now. And I mean, how does a guy like that, big, strong, smart dude, just played an idol correctly and just pretty much gave a middle finger to the rest of the tribe, saying, I don't care what you guys want to do, I'm doing what I want to do. How does a guy like that still not get his name brought up?
Because he's going to get it brought up next week.
He's going to what?
It's because he's probably going to get voted out next week.
Probably. They're just not showing it to us yet. Though I am going to be interested to see what happens next week, just from the previews, because I mean, it looks like someone's getting hurt. So I don't. Hopefully we're not going to have another evac situation. I mean, obviously Terry didn't get hurt and he had to go out for his son. So hopefully we're not going to get a medevac here, and hopefully the commercial is just overhyping it for ratings, and it'll just be a quick little bump on the head.
That arm shaking, that hand shaking with the pulse ox on it, that didn't look very good.
It didn't look great. Absolutely did not look great. And it looked from, I mean, at least from the preview that I saw, and it might just be my overanalyzation of the preview. It looked like it was Kimmy's that fell, and the people that were next to her were Joe or Keith. So it looks like it's Joe or Keith.
We think it's Keith. We rewound it and looked
That's what
at
we did.
And then rewound it in the past, and I saw a picture of Keith's hands, and it looks like Keith's hands.
Yeah, I couldn't tell for sure because, I mean, like I said, you only see his hand, and it looked like Keith. And when I went back and I went on, like, when you're watching the video, it's got Joe right next to her, but that pole's so long that, if it fell far enough, I could easily see it just smacking Keith on the head.
Yes. Yes, Joe's long pole hit somebody in the head, I think.
Yeah.
Of course it's fucking Kimmy to fuck it all up, so no surprises there.
But,
purpose.
It probably was. She got tired of him spitting everywhere.
That's right.
So, but that's going to be brutal, too, because it's on the Family Challenge. So, I mean, can you imagine, like, if because at least from the new trailer, it looked like Val and Dale and former, the ones that they went on the Blood and Water are out there with, are out there with them. So, I mean, can you imagine if Wes is out there and his dad gets hit in the head with this thing? And gets knocked out, and I mean that's got to be just traumatic.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I don't see Wes getting too emotional.
No,
but I mean, if your dad gets freaking just smacked in the head by the thing and goes unconscious, I mean, you're gonna skip a heartbeat.
It's not fun.
Well, especially if it splits his head open and bleeds everywhere.
I mean, hopefully he's got that camo hat on to give him a little protection.
I wonder if it's somebody else's doodad that falls and hits him.
Yeah, I'm wondering. And so initially I thought it might be Joe, and the only reason I thought that is if you go all the way back to the premiere episode, because I felt like Joe was going to make it to the family episode because he gave a confessional in the opening talking about how the thing that he regretted most in Worlds Apart was he didn't make it to the family episode, and he wanted to make it so bad that he wanted his dad to come out there. So I felt like he was going to make it. And then I thought, would they show that to him? Or would they show that if he was going to get hurt? And so I didn't know if maybe, that looking all the way back to the premiere episode, if maybe it was Joe, and that's why they showed him talking about the family visit way back when.
Yeah, who knows? That's an interesting point.
So that's why even last night. I mean, I guess not last night. Wednesday, even on Wednesday, I didn't feel like Joe was going home because I felt like he was going to make it to the family visit, just because of the confessional he gave in the opener. Because,
by the way, Nico,
what's up?
I'll say after you're done, can you give us an update on your tinfoil hat theory of the confessionals?
I can actually. So for you guys and John, I may or may not have talked to you about it when you were on. But I gave a theory that there were, what was it, eight players in the season premiere that did not get a confessional in the opening sequence of the show. And so in my mind, I immediately discounted them as, able to win the game, because I felt like Survivor wouldn't not include the winner in the opening montage of the season. And all those confessionals. So the 8 people were Monica Wu, Vetus, PG, Shireen, Terry, and now Steven and Keith. So Steven's gone, and Keith is the last person now standing from that 8 people that did not get a confessional in the opening 13-minute sequence of the season premiere.
I told you, Keith is getting that winner's edit, though. He's got the winner's edit.
Yeah, he is. When he's riding around on the hotel.
Feet, y'all.
Yeah, he's got some ugly feet too.
In his tuk-tuk.
In his tuk-tuk.
Yeah.
Driving around in his tuk-tuk, spitting everywhere.
Wearing Joe's shirt, that was awesome.
It wasn't more about you because you're dying.
Looks like you guys are playing Mario Kart.
Right. It's like because I'm dying, I feel like it's right. Like,
Oh, that's Bryce. I thought it sounded like someone like trying to do a Keith accent in the background for a second.
No, that's just Bryce.
That's just Bryce hollering in the background.
He just sounds like Keith.
He just sounds like Keith when he's not on screen. So the other big thing that happened in this week's episode was Kelly finding another idol. Second
Scoring
idol.
fantasy points.
Scoring Dylan more fantasy. Yeah. My fantasy team's pretty much done. All I got left is Keith, and he's about to get a concussion. So my fantasy team.
Hey, you get points for that. You get points for that.
Do I? I don't remember. If I don't, I'm gonna make I'll have to re-edit the system. I created it.
We had the worst rules ever. So.
Yeah, we did. I kind of just made them up on the fly. But going back to Kelly, I mean, she said it herself. How lucky is she that she just happened to grab, if you want to get into the tinfoil hats again, happened to grab the one note that had the clue on it. And then
How lucky are we that she keeps competing in bikinis? I think varies is the answer to that.
I'm right there. So it's very nice to see her in bikinis. It's very appreciative to see her, participating to the fullest. But luck is born out of opportunities. So, yes, she lucked out on this one, but she didn't luck out. She didn't luck out on the first idol, and she didn't luck out on the rest of her play this season. She didn't just luck into the Witches Alliance. I mean, she knew what she was doing when she played that idol against, which allowed Savage to go home. So, it is what it is. But that green bikini is nice. Let's enjoy it for the moment.
Got the one with the little square cut at the bottom?
Yes.
Up to normal?
I would say if we're talking about primetime bikinis, I think number one's got to go to Abby's little bikini that she got back in the slip and slide challenge.
Hey,
Jesus.
say about Abby's bikini.
I thought it was very nice, and even though she's lost some weight, through the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever, I think she's still last.
it's just that's although
Bryce is having a lot of fun. He sounds like he's all riled up. That's all we can hear in the background is just Bryce just hooting and hollering in the background.
He's just talking.
I'm just imagining Bryce not even talking to anybody, just in a corner somewhere by himself, just hollering at nobody.
I think right now he's talking to mashed potatoes.
Yes.
Hey, mashed potatoes can they can say some pretty filthy things. I know I had some pretty bad thoughts about my mashed potatoes on Thursday.
Okay.
Some American pie.
Hey, Bryce. There's Bryce.
There's Bryce.
He brought Bryce back.
Well, good, Bryce. Bryce, we've been hearing you. We've been hearing you for like the last 15 minutes in the background. It was like you never left.
Sorry, can I come over here?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, Bryce, they're going to ask you 2 more questions.
Two more questions.
And
It's
then
the
we have
last
you.
question.
Yes.
I come at the end.
Yeah.
Just last
All right, so Bryce, really quick, I actually had a personal request for you. My sister she's a big Survivor fan, and she was a big Bryce Isaiah fan during Cagayan. She's always been a big fan of the gays on Survivor and Big Brother, and she absolutely adored you.
I love your sister already.
So she's not watching at the moment because she's at work right now. But I told her I'd ask you to give her a personal shout out. Her name's Claire. So if you could give her a shout out.
Claire. I love you, Claire. I work with a Claire, so I already know I love your sister, and I appreciate her support. And it's not easy being the only openly black gay survivor, but I love Claire. Claire, boo boo. Hey, boo. What's the tea?
Awesome. Thank you. She'll appreciate it. She'll tune in a little bit later, but she'll be appreciated to know that you shout out to her. So.
And I'm gonna give Claire a shout out too. Hey Claire, my name's Dylan. I'm 25, single, Minnesota. Hit me up. I'm a pretty good dude. So that's my shout out to your sister, Niko.
Dylan is trying to get with your sister, Niko. I don't know if you noticed that.
I picked up on it. Fortunately for me, my sister lives in Washington with myself, and she has much better judgment than that. So I'm not.
Damn.
State or Washington
State.
D.C.
Ooh, nice.
That's
Washington.
some shade, Niko. You're throwing some shade at me right now.
Hey, we got Survivor Shade on. It's the night to do it.
Survivor Shade.
Hashtag Shade.
Washington State or Washington D.C. Nico.
Washington State. I'm in Spokane.
Home of boss bitch Kelly Whitworth.
Hello. Does that mean that's where Dale is from too? The freakiest freak.
Yes.
He's not too far. He's in Ephrata, so he's like about an hour and a half away, and Kelly's about 4 hours.
Bites. Dale doing those bites.
But Spokane. I'm from Spokane, which is the original home of Troyzan.
Oh, okay.
So he went to high school. This is Bryce's Island. Yeah, this is Bryce's Island. So, and if everything works out, we'll actually have Troyzan on after the finale. So that should be fun.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for even the Bryce Isaiah support. I love you guys all. Hello, Claire. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Bring Bryce back. Let him know.
Bring Bryce back for sure. We'll be missing it. Joe will be missing it. And we'll be seeing you next week, Joe.
Yes.
Yes, we will. So for everyone else, I don't think we're going to see John again. I don't know where he went. But otherwise, we're going to wrap it up here. So everyone, I guess we're wrapping it up.
Actually, she's awesome because she reads it.
Okay, we're just gonna leave the phone going. So I guess we're gonna watch his house. Anyway, so we're gonna wrap this up really quick. So everyone, hey Dylan, do you guys know when you guys are doing the power ranking show?
Cigars, huh?
Power rankings will probably be on Tuesday night. Actually, Tuesday.
All right.
So
Cool.
back to the original night.
Back to the original night. We'll be doing it Tuesday night.
I might be bringing back the supercomputer. The supercomputer might be coming back, so stay tuned for that.
And hopefully we'll get some more What's Dick and Dylan. And,
Yeah, definitely. What's Dick and Dylan and Dirty Dan's Story Corner is definitely coming back next week.
I'm excited for that. And then we'll be back on next Thursday, as we said, with Survivor Shade Joe.
I do want to turn the camera to the podcast #1 fan, Mr. Sam. Oh shit. I still don't know how to do this thing. Hold on.
Okay,
You hear that, Josh? Called out.
She's trying. I'll lean in. Hello. How's it going, Island Talk?
What's up? Nice to see ya.
Nice to see y'all.
Nice to see you. Bryce is just. What's up, Bryce? We're still running live right now. We got Bryce getting freaky up in here.
Yes.
Am I still on?
Yeah, you're still on. Well, no, you're not. You got audio, but there's no video on you. But we got video of Bryce, and that's really all the people care about. No, you're back now. Bryce is getting freaky.
What you doing, Steve? Steve is convinced, Nico, you look like BJ Novak from The Office. Like, just convinced.
I can't really show it, but I can't really show it very well, but kind of. But like just barely. You guys could be brothers in a weird alternate dimension.
What do you think, Bryce? Do you think I look like? Is it close?
I'm not sure.
I mean, like, kinda. Not entirely, but, like, if you guys try to dress up together, it'd be very similar.
A little bit.
Yeah.
That looks like Theo from Sons of Anarchy.
A little bit.
Who from Sons of Anarchy?
That looks like Theo, the actor from Sons of Anarchy.
A little bit for sure. It looks a little bit like him.
There you go.
Oh my god, this thing is like
Is that
slowly.
the one that went crazy?
This is slowly about to fall on honey.
So,
Don't clip it
all
there.
right. Well,
Hold on, get my phone out of here. Get it out. Here we go. No,
I'm clipping.
hold on a sec. I want to get a shot of honey.
what? What are you doing?
Mirelurk.
It's honey.
Oh, the dog. What's up, dog?
Honey. Look at honey.
Hey, Joe. Oh no, Joe's gone.
Sorry, guys, we gotta wrap up.
Awesome. Yeah, I just wanted to say see you later to John, and we're good to go. See you later, John. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate it, guys.
Peace
All
out.
right. Thank you, and we'll talk to you guys later, Joe. We'll talk to you guys next Thursday.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. This was a blast.
Thank you.
All right, later. All right, guys, that is the show. You can tweet at us at IslandTalkWNH, and you can email us islandtalkwnh@gmail.com. You can follow Dylan at dwalls09, and you can follow me at the Wisdom Pickle. You can follow at Bryce Isaiah at Bryce Isaiah, at Survivor_Shade, and at the First Survivor John. Otherwise, this has been Island Talk. This is our Week 10 recap show. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We appreciate it, and we'll see everyone on Tuesday. Otherwise, deuces. Later. Dylan, much appreciated. Glad you could come on short notice. And we'll see everyone next week. Later.
Peace out.